Hey guys, this is Subhra, your host, your dost. Welcome to your favorite channel, Subhra the Geek. So this is the second video on our series. So today we'll be talking about another series which we'll be doing after mathematics series. So that series is called quantum learning, quantum computing. So today we'll be talking about the quantum path which I and Debayan are following. Actually, we both are moving into quantum, and how we are moving on to share the journey. So, a little introduction about me if you are new to the channel. So, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the bell notification icon beside it so that you get notified for each and every time I post a new video on this channel and you stay updated with those videos. So, a little introduction about me in case you are new to the channel as well as new to the series that I and my good friend Debayan are planning to post on the channel this December. So stay tuned and stay healthy. So I am a master scholar at Amity University, Kolkata, and I am currently learning data science and machine learning and trying my hands on IBM Qiskit and quantum machine learning. So sorry for the noise, guys. So quantum machine learning, and I would like to share my learning experiences with all of you guys. So along with me is my good friend Debayan, who is who is working in the industry for a couple of years now, and he will be explaining most of the parts while I'll be coming and asking him questions like a person who doesn't know anything. So guys, next will be Debayan. So let's hear it from him.
Yeah, hi, this is Debayan. I'm currently working as a data scientist at a startup based out of London. I've been in the industry for about 2 years now, and I specialize in deploying end-to-end data science and machine learning models. And I also have been, pairing up with Subhra and learning, starting out in quantum machine learning, quantum information. And we too would like to share whatever we have learned, how we are proceeding in this journey, and maybe you can pick up a few pointers with us.
So guys, this is your host Shubhro, and without further ado, we'll be starting with the quantum path. So without further ado, let's start, shall we? So we will be talking about how we structured our material over here and who are interested and how you can become interested and how you can move into the path of quantum. I have written an article for the preliminaries, what you need in quantum. I'll be sharing the link in the description box below, and whatever we will be discussing, the references and all, we'll all be listing it down below. And Debayan, let's start with something which our audiences are eager to know, and me also, I was eager to know, and I know a bit right now. So nowadays we are having a hype of quantum after Google claimed quantum supremacy with NASA last year.
Yeah.
So
We all heard that.
yeah, so what do you think should be the future of quantum? What do you think in the industry, as from the industry perspective? What do you think?
So the whole craze about quantum computation suddenly becoming a feasible line of industry that people can jump on, start working on, and it becomes really promising, right? In a couple of decades now, right? In the coming couple of decades, is because I believe personally is due to the advent of commercial, like available quantum computing devices, right? So IBM has been at this for almost like more than 2 decades right now, and they have been perfect in the art of how to create machines. And there have been a couple of very successful startups like Rigetti and D-Wave, like based out
Very
of Canada
famous.
and Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Then
they
you have
have been really
Xanadu
successful.
Labs of Canada.
That's true, right? And there has been a couple of accommodating like academic programs based out of this, two HubSpots, University of Waterloo. I believe MIT is also,
Yeah.
pushing some degrees into this, and then India as well. So the government of India has recently announced in the last
Budget, financial
like last
budget.
year. that they are pushing money. They are investing into
Eight
the quantum
thousand crore
computing sector.
rupees
Yeah, like even yeah,
for
that's true.
quantum
Like
development.
it was
And
really a welcome
yeah,
kind of news. And so there is a very couple of reasons. So available of commercial hardware. So now you can actually have access to commercial quantum devices which you can have on cloud, like IBM Cloud, Rigetti, and these are the startups that have been providing the services.
Pennylen,
Amazon.
Pikewill,
Uh,
and Microsoft.
mhm.
Microsoft also has some quantum devices, free quantum devices for public. So guys,
I believe so. Yeah.
yeah. So guys, we have had experience in participating in various quantum challenges and competitions before, and one of the notable things which I'm proud of doing in quantum is working on a paper integrating quantum computing with software development lifecycle models and how it will happen in the near term future. And guys, if you want to have a look at it, I have linked the paper in the description box below. And also, I have written a small article about what you need and what are the preliminaries you will be needing for going into the quantum computing realm. So I have linked that also below. So please go through that.
In fact, I was part of a team led by Subhra, wherein we participate in IBM Qiskit's All India Quantum Computing Challenge earlier this year in September, and we were able to deliver a quantum machine learning model with an accuracy of 78% on the test data set they provided on HackerEarth.
Thank you, Devan, for citing me.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, let's jump onto it. Devan, let's jump onto it. Our video, the main content of the video. So the
Mm-hmm.
first question, as you guys know, we'll be doing it like in a question answer session where I will be someone who doesn't know anything and who is just learning, and Deban is our expert guy who will be telling us how we can do those things and how we can get our things done. So Devan, my first question to you is, how should one prepare for the future in the emerging quantum computing realm for the market?
Mm. So, like predominantly, like any new emerging field, there are two pathways. This one is the academic way. So you take up higher studies, you take up a master's, you take up a PhD, postdoc, and go along this way where you work on cutting edge research. So that's work, right? So that's part of the line. The other way would be to directly sort of right after masters, you need a basic qualification in quantum computing or at least physics to start off. But right after a basic degree qualification in that, you could go down the industry line and you could directly apply to work in one of these emerging quantum computing startups and companies like D-Wave, Rigetti. Amazon and Google, they have their own quantum computing departments at their own, the side of things, and they are actively hiring in this. They are actively pushing out content. They're actively pushing out research. So you could, like, it's very likely that you could get accepted over there, given that the market is quite sparse right now. It's high competition in the sense that the amount of qualifications you need, that bar is set quite high because it's such a new field. So it becomes easier on that aspect to get into the job market and get hired. But you really need to know your stuff. You really need to have your qualifications ready. So that should be the first priority in mind. Get your qualifications
So,
ready.
Deban, like, what are the higher studies which one can do? Like, what are the majors which one can take for coming into this realm?
Mm. So from my research, right? So I've been looking into this. I'm interested in this. So uh, there's only a very simple forward in the academic line, of course, at least in the academic qualifications and degrees that you need to look into. So if you are a graduate, right? Right now, let's say you are a graduate, you have done your bachelor's. So if you are from a physics background, right? So it becomes easier for you to move into a master's program with a specialization with a degree in physics, but with a specialization in quantum mechanics or quantum computing. That's one of the easiest routes out there. If you are from a computer science background, computer science and engineering like me and Shubro, So it becomes a bit difficult over there. You have to somehow prove to the to the authorities, to the admission authorities at the university that you want to learn, you want to take quantum computing qualification in, that you know enough quantum mechanics, you know enough physics, even though you studied computer science as your major, that you could still take up that master program. So you should be looking at universities which allow for extra classes to sort of catch up on the basics that you need to cover if you haven't done that, or you need to somehow prove that some of the basic intermediate courses that you have done in your first or second years of college is enough to prove that. But I don't think that should be the case. So in either way, you need to somehow prove or make up for that gap if you are not from a physics background, if you do not have a physics related bachelor's in the first place. And right after masters, you can either choose to go into industry, right, or you could continue down the path and go into cutting edge research, like become like on the forefront of quantum computing research, going down the PhD line, and then into postdoctorate, and then working as a like an associate professor. You go into those kind of lines, associate researcher, postdoc, into quantum computing programs. And you can also think about doing consulting, doing some kind of like paid work from the universities, as well as from the quantum computer startups and departments as well. So those are the two things I found, the two lines of path I found.
So the man, like, if I am in the first year of my bachelor's, I am doing
Mm-hmm.
computer science major
Mm-hmm.
as a major. So what are the things I should take up? So one thing I understood is a firm understanding of physics and
Mm-hmm.
computer science as my major. I will be taking up computer science. Then what are other
Mm-hmm.
things? What are the other subjects according to you which should be there?
Mm. So, like if you're trying to sort of bridge the basic qualifications, the minimum qualifications you need to get into your dream, like higher education college, for studying, for taking our degree in quantum computing, quantum mechanics, or major in physics, is that you need to get your mathematics and physics courses in your undergraduate good, right? You need to be very well versed in them. You need to take the classes. You need to have preferably good marks in them. Get a very good learn the material very well, and keep those materials. Yeah, don't delete them right after you're done with your semester exams. Let's keep those materials if you need to, because you will be using those same basic materials over and over again for revision and stuff like that. So linear algebra, linear algebra, as well as I believe physics. If you have some courses related to physics, like discrete mathematics, or some kind of energy-based, like thermodynamics-based statistical mechanics kind of concepts, please do that. In terms of statistics, you could literally take up that course of statistics. If you have that, please do that. Those mathematics and statistics become some of the core material, core language in which we talk quantum mechanics. And then of course comes the normal physics classes. So if you have physics 1, 2, 3, or some kind of delineation of your levels of physics, like material, please take all of them if possible. You need to achieve good marks. You need to study the material. You need to understand the material, not for the sake of passing your semester exams, but for the sake of preparing yourself for your higher studies, for your future, for your dream plan of becoming a working in quantum computing and becoming a quantum computing researcher, engineer, and working in the industry.
So the band, like, there were few books which we followed for our
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So would you like
Mm-hmm.
to share with our audience all the materials like which we followed and still we follow as our Bibles?
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of Bibles, right? So, the core book that I would like you, like every one of you, to sort of take up or at least have a look at is the book called Quantum Computation and Quantum Information, from Michael Nielson and Isaac Chuang. These are two MIT professors who have written the authoritative book, I believe, on quantum computation. And these are the first two books that you should pick up if you want to start understanding what there is to know in the first place about quantum computing. Don't worry about too much about understanding the material, because it's not always clear. right? Like it takes time. It takes time. It's hard. It's a hard subject. It takes time to get understand things. So just take up, understand what there is to know in the first place, understand where you can go from here, which parts of quantum computing do you want to specialize in, which part do you think can be, like, promising in the future, because you need to specialize in something. You can't just go in there knowing everything, right? So it helps to know what there is to know in quantum computing in the first place. Some of the
And I believe Professor Nielson also has a series of videos regarding this book on YouTube, which we'll be linking down below.
yeah,
And
that too.
moreover, that will be a lot of help to our audience who will be like us learning uh, or moving into the path of quantum. What do you think, Devan?
Mm. I think that's one of the least thing that you can do, to start getting into understanding, like charting out what to know about quantum computing. That's the idea. That's like you won't know everything at the first time, and we still do not know many things in quantum computing. So what we do, we sort of bookmark this, come back to revisit them every now and then, sort of see, okay, what I have learned, what I've covered, what do I need to know, where can I find this, and follow these lectures, follow the professor's lectures.
And Devan, the next book you are going to talk about?
So another book that I would like to refer is Robert Sutu's Dancing with Qubits.
Okay,
That's
classic
another
one.
fantastic book. In fact, Robert is frequently active in LinkedIn, so I had a chance to to interact with him online. But like that's a great book. People have strongly recommended it for the beginners. So I would definitely would like to like you guys to sort of check it out on that aspect. The last reference that I would like to sort of give you guys is on quantum machine learning. If you're going for um, that specific domain, merging quantum computing principles into
Machine
machine
learning.
learning, two hyped up branches of the current time period. It would be quantum machine learning. The book is literally called Quantum Machine Learning by late Professor Peter Wittek. In fact,
Great professor. Great professor.
yeah,
Great
yeah,
book.
he died a tragic death, but the legacy that he left behind, the courses that he left behind are truly like great. He has a one online course on quantum machine learning, like sort of derived from sort of the book on edX. I believe Shubro will sort of link that down below as well.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
still want to take it, please do so. You can audit the material if you have to, but please do check out the course. I had the opportunity to sort of take the first batch of that course when it was first released a year back, and it was great. It was a great course. It was difficult, yeah. It took a lot of time for me to sort of catch up with the routine, take my notes, come back to them every day, try to understand what he said, and look back to his books. But it was a worthwhile experience, and it was a worthwhile investment of money. So yeah, I definitely want you guys to check it out as well.
And Devan, would you like to tell our audience what we are planning like what we have in store for them or what we are planning for them in the
Mm-hmm.
quantum field?
Yeah, so like what we have planned for you guys in our upcoming quantum computing series is we're gonna lay out the basic foundational concepts for sort of help you aid your learning journey. So we will start out with the basic understanding of qubits and bits and how they work, and build up the foundational knowledge from there into using quantum gates and how they are similar yet different from the classical computing gates you might have heard of if you are electrical engineering or from a computer and science engineering background. From there, we will move on to writing and actually implementing those gates and codes in scripts and circuits in Python using IBM Qiskit's open source library. Uh, but like we will simulate them on our classical computer, but the real magic, the real fun lies in actually writing those codes and running them on a real quantum computer. So we will be also telling you guys how to use IBM's free offering of the quantum computing cloud service that they had, and how to access it using their portal. I think Subhra will give a link down below so that you
Definitely,
can have a
it's
quick
given. It's given.
peek at that, and from there we will just conclude the series with how some of the basic fundamental algorithms that we have, important algorithms, and where what else could you learn, sort of prepare yourself for a upcoming, like a career in quantum computing and research.
So that's our next series, which will be after we have our mathematics done and basics done. So that's all for the day, guys. So I am your host Shubro. We talked about quantum, and along with me is,
I'm Debayan.
so thank you for staying with us for so long. It's your host Shubro signing off. Bye bye.